hottest station is now live for your enjoyment with host iamBranded.
Green in the building. We got owner of AMN Magazine, and she is doing phenomenal things. Always got stars in her magazine, just doing the damn thing. So I'm incredibly proud of her. Got Miss Mikeya Summerville also in the building. She is the owner of It Factor Agency, which does nothing but PR for celebs and does fabulous events, and they are both beautiful, amazing divas, and it's all about phenomenal divas and beautiful women that are doing amazing things in the industry. So they're going to be giving us game on how to be a respectable woman in the entertainment industry, which is not an easy thing. So without further ado, letting the two ladies on. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Miss Mikeya. How are you? And is my neighbor Lisa on as well?
Hello.
Hello. Hi, ladies.
Hi.
Welcome to Ladies Night Radio.
Hi,
ladies. Thank you.
Thank you. This is Lisa Green. Thank you, ladies. Thank you for having me.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So Miss Lisa, I'll let you go first. Tell the people who you are and what you do and what makes you so fabulous.
I'm sorry.
Hello. Yeah. Tell everybody who you are and what you do exactly. And.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. My name is Lisa Green, and I am the editor and publisher of AMN Magazine. And AMN Magazine is geared primarily to R&B music and independent music. And I have really been fortunate to speak with a lot of R&B artists, classic R&B artists, like Brian McKnight, Shantae Moore, Donnell Jones, and the list goes on and on. So that is AMN Magazine.
That's what's up. And Ms. Mikeya Summerville, can you explain exactly what It Factor Agency does, please?
Yeah. Hi, guys. I'm Mikeya Summerville, owner of It Factor Agency. It Factor is a boutique PR agency based in Los Angeles, or established in Chicago, my hometown, but I moved to LA back in 2012 to expand my business and work primarily in the entertainment industry. So right now I have actors and a comedian and style ambassadors in LA and a fabulous dancer as well. So I'm keeping busy, and I'm also an entertainment reporter for a website called Press Pass LA. So busy girl.
My goodness. You both are definitely doing the damn thing. That's amazing. Miss Lisa Green, how did you get involved in the entertainment industry?
Well, it was born out of my passion for music, and particularly my passion for R&B music. Over the past few years, I kind of saw R&B music dwindle and more kind of fade into the background, and I just felt like there was room for everything. And for whatever reason, the music genre that I have appreciated for most of my life just wasn't as, in the forefront as it had been in years past. So I thought, like, what can I do about this? What can I do to contribute to R&B music and, and show my appreciation for this music genre that I grew up listening to. Music was always around my house. We listened to, gospel music. My parents played some of everything, gospel, R&B, country, just some of everything, but for the most part, R&B. So I just combined two passions that I've always had, music and writing. And what started as my attempt at a magazine, initially a digital magazine, and when I launched it in 2011, by the third issue, I had Donnell Jones, and at the time, he was my first big interview, if you will, and he agreed to cover the third issue of the magazine, and from there, things just kind of took off. Right after that issue was issue number 4 with Avant on the cover, and after that one, Faith Evans, and I think that more or less the artists appreciated that I knew music and I knew what I was talking about when I would speak with them, and that I had a genuine appreciation for that art form and for them as music artists, and that I had a genuine desire to open that platform up again and make people aware of these artists and give them some place to shine. And so they appreciated that, and more they started to come to the magazine. And with that, people wanted to see more. They wanted to read more, and there started to be this surge of people asking, why isn't this magazine in print? It's just as good, if not better, than some of the other publications out there on newsstands. We need this in print. So about a year ago, I sent it to print, and it took off. It far exceeded any expectation that I had. And now I have readership here, of course, in the U.S., in Tokyo, in Australia, in Spain, and it's been amazing.
Wow.
That's what's up. Like that's amazing to be able to have such a worldwide impact. Same question for you, Miss Mikeya. What got you into the entertainment industry?
Oh, wow. Well, I started off thinking that I wanted to be an event planner, and so I was thinking of doing that, but then I started interning for a small PR agency in Chicago where my first event was working with Snoop Dogg. We were bringing his youth football league to Chicago, so I did that in the after party with Adidas and rocked that event. So, I've just never been one to work for people, and so, I figured I could start, my own company, do this for myself, and that's what I did. My best friend, Rodney, he helped me. My sister, Tamika, they both helped me launch my agency, and I started to network with people in Chicago, just make contacts, and then that developed into clients, and I was kind of known for doing events in Chicago at first, like just really managing events, launch events, and it was particularly in fashion, which is a passion of mine. I love fashion. But then, I felt like I hit a ceiling in Chicago. I love Chicago. That's where I got my start, so it's definitely much respect to everyone in the industry there. But I just wanted to take it a little bit, a step further, and so I moved to L.A. With much planning and saving and sacrifice.
Right.
I moved here, and things picked up fast. Like, I just did not expect for it to go as fast as it did. I started writing for Press Pass LA, which, I just owe them everything because they opened up so many doors of me networking here and meeting people and celebrities and everything, and then things just kind of took off. Like, I get my clients from word of mouth, and so, I'll get one client, and then they tell a friend, and they tell a friend, and so it just
awesome.
developed, into this big thing, and so, I'm here.
That is
Thank you.
Ms. Diva, what questions do you have for our lovely guests?
Oh, I just want to say to the ladies, I'm so proud and so excited for you guys, and congratulations on all your success. Now, with
Thank
success,
you so much.
there does.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
With success, there does come some hard work, as we all know. So my first question is going to go to Lisa Green. Within the first year of you, well, let me ask you this. How long has the magazine been established now?
It is now 3 years.
3 years. Congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so
Thank
excited
you.
for you on that.
Thank you.
So within the first year, what was some things that you overcame that you said, you know what, I'm not going to let this get to me? What did you overcome in the first year in your magazine business and launching your magazine?
Oh, wow, that is such a great question. I've always loved music. I've always loved writing. Those things kind of came easy to me, but publishing a magazine, I had no idea what I was doing. I knew that I wanted to do it, but I was like, I have no idea where to start. I thought after doing some research to post the magazine digitally would have been the better start to kind of, grab my audience. Of course, I can reach as many people as I want via the Internet. So I thought that would be a great way to start, but, how do I get started? So I reached out to some people who had a lot of programming experience, just a lot more knowledge I felt with software and that kind of thing to help me out. And it just so happened at the time they were busy, they had other projects, and for whatever reason was not available when I needed them. So I decided, you know what, I can either decide not to do this and come up with something else, or I can follow what I know is my passion. And no one has ever told us that anything worth having would be easy. So I decided that, look, I am going to do this. This is what I want to do, and I realized there's a learning curve there in terms of publishing and doing it the right way. And for me, I don't know, I'm a bit of a perfectionist in that way. Put my mind to an attempt. I want to do it, you know, completely or not at all. So I purchased, you know, books, and I read everything that I could read, and I did research and to publish a magazine. And actually,
yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Your phone's
Actually
cutting out.
launch it and do it the right way.
Right.
All right. Well, that's definitely great, you know, and it's putting the education behind it is important, taking that time out, because all of us have to give ourselves a prep talk, whether it's personal or professional. We have to stop and say, you know what, let me just give myself a prep talk. And, you know, I think that's awesome with you. And I'm going to come to you now, you know, because you deal, and what a savvy name for your company. That's awesome.
Thank you.
How did you come up, what inspired that? Not how did you come up with, what inspired that name?
Well, I remember sitting in I was working at a law firm at the time as an office manager, and I remember sitting in my office with my best friend and my sister, and we were like, what can we name it? Like, we went through a million names, and then I said, well, I only want to work with people that have that it factor. And when I said that, it just clicked. It was like, oh, that's the name of the company. You know, I only want to work with the best up-and-coming talent, you know, but you have to have it, you know, and so that's how I came up with it. It's kind of random.
I mean, the it factor, it was very catchy, and it'll catch eyes, you know, online, if you're seeing it, and it'll catch ears and say, the it factor, what is this? I was interested in it. So, you know, great job on that. And my question to you is, because you deal with a lot of celebrities and sometimes celebriton-dongs, I like to call them. What is a non-negotiable? Like, what is something, you know, we're dealing with those artists and, you know, whether indie or whether celebrities, sometimes they have these outrageous demands. What is it that you would not tolerate, and what is a non-negotiable for you to pick up a client?
Oh, my God. Girl. I mean, just disrespect is just, I'm never tolerating that. Like, that is like, you're not going to talk to me crazy. You're not going to talk to me any type of way. I respect everyone, you know, and so you have to respect me in return. So that's where I draw the line. I'm definitely known to be, what's the word? Tough, I should say. So I'm definitely known, you know, as being tough and like, you know, I don't take any mess or crap or anything like that. So I may be a different type of publicist than a lot of those out there where they'll, you know, and I do bend over backwards for my clients. I really do. You know, I'll do anything within reason for them to make them successful. But we have to work together. You know, I'm not going to just do work for you and you're not contributing anything. That's not how I work at all. And so everyone coming in, they know how I work, you know, and that first consultation, I set down the rules and the guidelines, and it's like either you play by my rules or we don't play, you know.
Right. Exactly.
I hear that.
You're not going to pay me to disrespect me, or you don't pay me to disrespect me.
Exactly.
And big shout out to all the publicists out there, because I feel like y'all got the hardest job there is.
Oh,
being
my
a radio
God,
personality, advertising and promotion, that's kind of, you know, it's a big job that we do, but you guys have, you know, somebody was asking me one time to be a publicist. I said, no, baby, I can't clean up nobody else's mess. I got 2 kids to take care of. I can't do that.
Yeah, it really is.
But I give you guys,
You really are everything to your clients. You become your friends. You become like family to them. You're with, your clients more than with your own friends and family. And so it's definitely, it can be tough.
And that was going to be my next question. Some of the things that you have sacrificed to, keep, not to just deal with your clients, but to keep your business in a respectable business. What are some of the things that you have had to sacrifice or put to the side to keep it, as we would say, 1,000?
Well, definitely sleep. That's number one. I don't get sleep. People always ask, like, how do you do it? How do you manage everything in one day? I'm like, I don't know. I don't sleep. So that's number one. And time, just like personal time. You don't really get that when everyone else is off on holidays and, just your personal time. I don't get that. There is no time off. There's no days off. My phone rings and I get text messages and emails and social media alerts 24/7. It never ends. So, that's the biggest sacrifice right there. Just your personal time and sleep and a little bit of money. Just building your brand and, investing back into your company. But those are the top two things I would say.
Well, with all the work that you're putting in and all the grind that you're putting in, it will pay off where you can just hire other people, have a bigger staff to take care of and do it, because you do deserve some diva time, as I would like to say. I have to do it. I will cut it off. I will cut my phone off. Listen, you broke a nail. You have to figure that out. I will get back to you on Monday.
Yeah, you do have to do that. I mean, I had to kind of do that this weekend. I was visiting Chicago and was with family, and, work never stops, but at the same time, there has to be a line drawn where, I'm here. I haven't seen my family in a year. I haven't visited home in a year. So you have to just make that, you have to let them know, like, look, I'm here for you all the time. Give me like 5 days. So.
Well, we appreciate your sacrifice, and I'm going to throw it back to you, Linnea. Of course, I got 1,000 more questions, but I'm just going to give it to you one little bit at a time.
Definitely. I would say for either one of you guys, actually Mikeya first, what has been the biggest challenges as a woman in this industry? And that's a two-part question. And how do you maintain being the woman that you are and, and having a good reputation? Like, what have you done to maintain that?
Well, one thing in PR, it's actually driven. It's a female-driven industry primarily. I definitely have some male PR friends here in L.A., but as a woman, competing with other women, that can get crazy in itself. PR and just the entertainment industry by itself is very, very competitive. You're kind of on your own, with the exception of a few people. I've definitely made friends where we all kind of look after each other. But in entertainment, it is driven by males. PR is like females, but entertainment as a whole in Hollywood is ran by men. So,
absolutely.
Just maintaining a balance of being strong and, you stick to your will, you stick to what you believe in, but at the same time is learning how to maneuver through Hollywood. There is a game, and you have to play it in order to get ahead and succeed. But that doesn't mean demeaning yourself, and it doesn't mean allowing anyone to disrespect you. Because, again, you all know how I feel about that by now.
Right.
But, if you're too aggressive, you're considered the B word, or, it's like you have an attitude. But then in PR, you can't be demure and you can't be a pushover because you'll never get anywhere. So it's just really finding a balance of being bold, So that's kind of been the challenge with me. Like I said, I'm more known as just being really, really tough. And so with me, it's learning to, just kind of not bowing down, because I'll never bow down, but not taking everything so seriously, pick your battles, that type of thing.
you'll just get so much further ahead. But I just stay true to who I am. I'm not changing who I am and what I believe for anyone in this industry. That is where I draw the line. I just feel like it's not worth changing who I am for anyone. So
absolutely, I think that's definitely a huge piece of advice. And Lisa Green and Mikeya Summerville are our guests here on Ladies Night Radio. Lisa, same question for you. What gives you, the drive, and what keeps you able to be that respectful woman and not having to go and do crazy things to gain attention? How do you stay in the spotlight and still have your dignity?
Well, you know what? For me, I have found that it's been, knowing what you're doing. People respect you, men and women alike, respect you when you're knowledgeable. You know what you're doing. You know what you're talking about. When I sit down to interview someone, I come armed with information. I know about their music. I know about the album and whatever projects they're working on. And when you can sit down and have an intelligent conversation with someone and direct questions to them respectfully and the same, and it is, too, about the way you yourself before someone else can. And if you carry yourself in that manner and you're always
Hello?
You do your job and you're out. There's no hanging.
Oh, no.
Did we lose her?
I don't know. Is her phone still on? I don't know. Her phone's cutting in and out. But I mean, I think she's making a really good point. She talks about, if you can, if you can hang on to yourself, if you're able to carry yourself properly, people will respect you.
Right.
And I think, and that's a huge thing. So I mean, I think my question is, why, knowing this, and we all know this, so why in the world do these little girls, because they claim to be women, think that they have to show their ass, sleep with this guy or whatever just to get ahead? Why is that the misconception? I think that's the biggest thing that I'm still not understanding.
I mean, believing the hype, to some extent, that's a weak-minded individual, not confident in themselves. I think that it's a combination of things. I don't think that we can pinpoint it down to one thing. I think that past history has a lot to do with it, and, your background, and, there's a lot of things that come into play, so I don't want to pass judgment on why someone makes the decisions that they make, but it's just about, having self-worth and self-respect to know that, you're more than what someone else is telling you you have to be in order to succeed or get far. I've just always played by my own rules and did my own thing, and I don't care what other people think. I don't care what someone is telling me I have to do in order to be successful. It just is what it is. So.
Right. And I think that's the biggest thing about it. But I think the thing is now is that how is it now that we went from having all these beautiful examples of amazing women on TV to now we have so many crazy reality shows these girls are now emulating because they think it's cute. They're doing something because I want to be in Bad Girls Club, whatever. Oh, Real Housewives is acting a fool, and they have money, so I guess that's how I'm supposed to act. Where did the culture go that now this is the norm as opposed to as opposed to thinking, man, that girl's crazy. Now this is what the normal, quote unquote, is.
I mean, I think that because TV is so saturated with that, that's all that you see. There's not enough women and people stepping up. Well, I don't want to say that they're not stepping up. I just think that the spotlight and media aren't shined on the positive. It's like I blame the people that watch this stuff. And I'm guilty of it too. So, I'm definitely not pointing fingers, but we watch it. So we're to blame for keeping this crap on the air.
and we're not demanding for better things to be shown on TV. So, you know,
Absolutely.
TV is about ratings. You know what I mean? TV is ratings.
Yep.
TV is a business, and they're going to show whatever gets the highest ratings. And if it's crap TV, then that's what's going to be played. And so we demand better, and we turn off our TVs, and, you know, we start creating better and more positive content, then this will just continue. You know, it'll just continue. We're not giving the positive women, we're not giving a platform to show, you know, who we are, what we can do, and to show younger women better. So that's my take on that.
I just wanted to jump in on that because I was just thinking about that at the top of the year of, you know, just like, you know, what Lisa Green said, what can I do? What can I do? And I said, you know what? Maybe I should go ahead and start researching and see about owning my own broadcasting station, my own network.
Yes.
I mean, and that's just where I'm at right now. I mean, even though, you know, I do radio and we do promotions and whatnot, we work with a lot of indie artists, and all of my shows are set up for television. But in order to get some true power, ownership is powership. We need to own some stuff. You know, if we keep putting money in other people's hands, listen, we need to start owning some stuff. And that's my next goal, is to own my own network. And then we will be able to put these images out on a television, and then we'll be able to promote more positive imaging. And women are winning. We are winning. We are doing so much, and we are definitely winning. So what you're seeing, you know, what some people see on television, say, well, if you don't like it, turn it off or whatever. I wish I could set a blaze to it and burn it to death. Like why can I have that option?
Right.
Can I have that option? You know, it's not just, you know, don't watch it, don't look. That's just like seeing a woman being beaten in the alley and saying, hey, that's not your business, don't watch it. No, we have to do something about it because it has had a major impact. But I believe that we all should think about and coming together and owning our own network and our own cable station and whatnot. And stay tuned for Divas by ENT Network or Divas by TV, just because God blessed me with the idea to do it.
Absolutely.
Right.
And, of course, we're going to be interviewing all you guys on that show, too.
Hey, I'm
Miss Lisa Green, are you back with us? Miss Lisa? Oh, no, she's having phone issues. Grr.
We'll wait for her to come back. Oh, and I want to give a big loving and shout-out, just loving and shout-out and much respect to Maya Angelou. Rest in heaven, Mike. Thank you for leaving such beautiful, beautiful examples, beautiful knowledge, beautiful experience for us. We do have a true example, and we do have a leader that left some things behind for us, so it's more rest in heaven. I love that woman.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Lisa,
go ahead,
back
Mikeya, you
with
want to
us?
say something?
Oh, I thought that Lisa was, like, coming in.
I know, I'm trying to figure out something's going on her phone.
Oh, it must be bad reception or something.
Yeah.
But, no, to that, you know, Maya Angelou is definitely one of my favorite poets and authors, and I remember being younger and just reading all of her fabulous work, and so, you know, we definitely endured a loss today, but her words carry on, and, you know, we'll have that forever, so that's a good thing.
You're absolutely right. Isn't it amazing that we have something like that to share with our daughters? I just had a little baby girl. She's 5 months now. And isn't that amazing
congrats.
that we get to, thank you, to share that with our daughters and our little cousins and with our girlfriends and have, like, readings at the house and stuff like that when we have our dinner and our wine. I just think that's just amazing that we can share these beautiful things.
Yes, for sure, for sure. That's the good thing about, you know, words and anything written, that lasts forever. So, you know, that's part of why I wanted to become, you know, even though I'm an entertainment reporter, so I don't write anything deep or anything like that. But, you know, your work, you should take pride in whatever you're doing. Like, even this radio show, this is being recorded, so this will last forever. this is
Right.
something to be proud of and that you can share, like you said, with your daughter and, just generations to come. So absolutely.
Now, is there anything, like you just said, being a, entertainment publisher or reporter, like you don't share anything deep, but, is that something, do you feel like there is something, worth sharing or shareable in the entertainment industry, or will to be to come that you will be able to, share and, give us food with what you're doing? Or what would you like to share? What would you like to see?
Well, the good thing about a lot of the events that I cover a lot of charity events. So, that is where it becomes deep, where celebrities give back and, they use their name and their influence to different causes that they believe in and that they feel a light should be shed on. So I love covering those. Whenever those are offered to me, I jump on them because I'm all for a good cause. So, in that sense, when I write about those things, I feel that it's important, and I love, love, love any type of charity work. And a friend of mine actually just had an idea to launch a blog primarily dedicated to women. And so, we will be creating our own platform to put different women in the spotlight. And so, you all can stay tuned for that. That should be launching this summer. So I'm definitely proud of that.
I think that's awesome. So say if I decided, you know what, I want to do a back-to-school blowout, even for ENT, Ladies Night Radio, we want to do a back-to-school blowout, and we want to call you up and say, hey, we would like to have a celebrity to come out, to be able to get people to come out to donate so it can go towards, or before time, for it to go towards money, to go towards book bags and supplies and stuff like that. How will we go about it, and what type of budget do we need to be looking at, to get a celebrity to come out to perform, or, like you said, give their influence to bring people out to donate money?
A lot of the time, a celebrity, will do that stuff for like little to no money because it's charity. It's for a good cause. It's something that they believe in and, they're passionate about. People have a real bad misconception of a lot of celebrities. They're always like seen in such a bad light. But everyone that I've met really are great people. They really do use their power for good. And so I think that it would be fairly easy, honestly, to get a celebrity. You just reach out to their publicist and or manager and, just go from there. And that information is usually listed right on their website.
Well, see, that's what I'm talking about. Queen just dropped the jewel on us. Y'all heard it right here, Nexxlegacy Radio. And if you're on the line right now, all you got to do is press the one button to be heard. If you tuned in live with us right now, you want to ask a question to our guests. Shout out to
Yeah, all you got to do is call 949-270-5912. That's 949-270-5912. Press that one button if you want to be heard. Yes. So, yeah, it's actually been a crazy day. As Diva said earlier,
all of our days are crazy.
Right.
When do we not have a crazy day?
Well, I mean, like today.
Since the day I met you, we've been normal. We have never been normal.
True, but I mean, like, think about today. Like, I wake up and the first thing I hear is, Maya Angelou passed, and I'm just like, oh my goodness. And I was like, wait, no. I was like, for real? No, this can't be. Oh man, really?
I thought it was a joke. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I hoped it was. I really did. I'm like, whatever. They say somebody died all the time. Not a big deal. Whatever, right? And and then it's like they're like, no, it was confirmed, and I'm like, okay. And my mom's like, there's nobody to replace her. I'm like, yeah, you're right. There isn't nobody
really
that can replace her.
No.
And
no, dang.
there isn't. And and I was thinking that I was thinking that when I was working with because I've been doing poetry classes at this school in Chicago, and one of the main things, one of the poems I taught them was "I Still I Rise," And so I'm just thinking that, and I'm thinking about one of the girls that I worked with and how incredibly shy and just really like just such an introvert she was when I first met her. And I got her into writing her own poetry, but I had them perform Still I Rise, and like I see her now and she's got energy and she's talking loud and she's,
Wow.
got so much more respect for herself, and then you can just see a total change in this kid. And, to think that somebody that had that much of an impact is gone is very, very painful. And, and so people were like, well, people need to appreciate people when they're alive and not just when they're dead. And I agree with that. And I think, and that's the biggest thing about it. Don't just all of a sudden now you like, now you want to post whatever. But like, because I've been saying, my Angela was amazing and talking about, Still I Rise and stuff like that because I've learned it, because I've had to recite it, because, Phenomenal Woman, all those amazing poems that she's given us. And not only that, she was in acting, she was a director, she did so much and had such an impact worldwide. But yeah, it's gonna be hard,
Yeah,
and
it's really
so,
sad. I don't mean to pull the new fool card, but I did run into a new fool today.
Oh, Lord, don't tell me they didn't know who she was.
She did not know who she was.
She said she, oh, Lord,
and
come on.
I was like, well, I just, rolled up on the scene crispy and clean, as I usually do, network it. And it just happened to be at one of the salons that I network with. And, I was changing out the flyers in there or whatever. So I was like, Maya Angelou passed on, rest in heaven to her. And the young barber just looked at me. He wasn't that young. He was around our age. He
gave you the blank stare.
30.
No.
He gave me the blank stare. And I was looking at him like, what's wrong with you?
Wait. Let me get this straight. He gave you the blank stare when you said Maya Angelou passed? Wow.
Yes, he did.
Okay.
I was like, you don't know who Maya Angelou is?
I don't even know what to say about that
so
one.
done with him. I gave him the diva rundown. Do you hear me? I embarrassed him before I left in there. Everybody that came to the door, I said, this fool just said he don't know who Maya Angelou is. I said, you know who Gucci is? He said, yeah, I know who Gucci is. Don't say nothing else.
Right, you know who Gucci Man is, all right? Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know who that is.
You shouldn't even say nothing else. I said, you shouldn't even get a customer today because you don't know who don't you cut no hair. I made him sit there on his phone.
He said, don't you cut no hair.
Maya Angelou, I stopped his customer. I said, don't you sit in that chair until he tell me who Maya Angelou is. There's one thing that she contributes
she said,
to the community.
She said, I stopped his customer. She said, I stopped his
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God.
Newfood.com. And if my phone wouldn't have died, I would have took a picture of him and posted it on Facebook. See, that
was because it wasn't meant for you to put that out there, because you would have already know, Diva, she would have gone in, she would have snapped out and been like, this photo. But because
I would have got my promo team on it and everything. We would have shared him all the way in the UK. I'm not saying you could at least act like, rest in peace, Maya Angelou. He was like, you
Google it real quick or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are talking about amazing women. We are talking about Maya Angelou and the impact that she had on this country and young women, and just we are talking about how to be a respectable woman in the entertainment industry, because that is so crucial, and some people don't do it. Ms. Lisa Green had a couple of technical difficulties, so we will have her back on another show, absolutely. So make sure that we get everything together. But we do love that she came on for a little bit, but we'll be hanging out with her another time, and we'll stay tuned for that. But it's just been. I don't know how you don't know who Maya Angelou is at this point, because she's been everywhere. So
Right.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around that one. But I mean, I think you made a really good point when you talked about that a lot of these kids just, I don't know if it's not that they're even being, it's not even that they're not being raised right. It's not just what they're watching though. I think really real talk, really where it started was the fact that there's so much. There's so much crazy media out there to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when you talk about National Enquirer used to be a joke. Now people are taking that as face value, they're taking that for real. And so that's the problem. Like I said, because they got a couple things right, now all of a sudden, they're doing good work. You know what I'm saying? They good. You feel me? So, and too many of these quote-unquote gossip sites have came out. My thing is, I don't understand why the news is talking about gossip. Last time I checked, the news was talking about what's going on with the weather, what's going on in the city,
agree.
and how in the world, like, you're supposed to be informing us. I don't need to be, like, the news shouldn't have said anything about Kanye and Kim. Like, that should have been entertainment news. That's what we have entertainment news sites for. But everything has become entertainment. And I think that's where it went wrong. When people got to be entertained and not taught, that's the problem. And so you're not getting information. You're getting BS. You're getting gossip.
You're getting a lot of
what's
things
hot.
that are that don't really matter, that aren't really going to change anything. Because like even with Kim and Kanye's wedding, the whole shift from the girls, bring our girls back, and that whole campaign that was going on just a week ago was just forgotten, because Kim and Kanye got married. So I totally, I get where you're going.
It's like, wait a second, hold on, what? What do you mean?
Yeah.
Well, of a sudden
and it's
now.
It is hard to balance being in entertainment. Entertainment is what I do. It's my life.
Right.
Yeah.
It's definitely what I do, but you can't lose sight of what's important and understand that there's a whole big world outside of, this small entertainment industry. So you have to take into consideration other important things, that there's a whole world out there with real things going on that we need to pay attention to. So
Right.
I've seen a lot of the what I'm calling breeding of hate, and the media and with the young girls, they're breeding hate in them coming up. So that's why you see, even with grown women and with us, some of this media and shows and music, it's all subliminal, but it's breeding hate in us to hate each other. It doesn't matter the skin tone. It doesn't matter the profession. It's just breeding for us to compete. Just like with the whole, and I'm going to put Scandal out there. That's another show that's breeding hate. And Mary Jane, the show for the side chicks. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's automatically pitching us against each other. And the way that, if I'm going to talk about the problem, of course I'm going to give a solution. The way that I have come to combat that, I now address women as queens. How you doing, queen?
Right.
How's everything going? Some women are totally taken back. Like, did she just call me a queen? And it changes. She don't even know how to respond at first. I have to let her catch up. But I get it. I understand it. But I have to breed the love out. I have to push the love out to breed out the hate.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, I think that... Yeah, we need to just go back to genuinely wanting to see other people succeed just as much as we do, Take the jealousy out of it. I have so many PR friends here in L.A., and anytime they have good news, I share it. I congratulate them. They do the same for me, and I just think that we really need more of that. So,
absolutely.
It's just doing it by example. If we constantly do it. It's just like you hear a song. And if you do it verbatim, you hear it, you're going to start, even if you didn't like the song in the beginning, you're going to start picking up the lyrics. You're going to start picking up behavior. And that's what we're doing now. We're sharing the network. We're supporting one another, and we're moving forward. But, sometimes we got to start checking our girlfriends, too. When we're having dinner, and when we at the house, and if they're always talking negative stuff, we got to press the stop. Like, excuse me, I need you to reset your conversation because it's too negative. Let's talk about some positive stuff. We didn't come here to have a hate rally. You ain't said one nice thing yet.
Right.
Did you at least hug my baby? Dang, she's just staying with the denim. You need a hug.
Right? Exactly. And this
We
is
do
Ladies
need to
Night
check our
Radio.
conversation.
We are live with Mikeya Summerville at Vector Agency. If you guys want to call in and join the conversation, hit 949-270-5912 and press the 1 button if you want to be heard. But yeah, I mean that, and that's the thing. I said this whole breeding hate situation. I'm just like, where in the heck did we get this? Where did this come from? Who said that this was going to be what's hot? And that's what I'm trying to feel like. All it's doing is putting women against each other, putting people of color against each other, and everybody else can watch and, they see the show kind of deal.
Right.
And that's the problem.
Yeah, women fighting on TV is just getting over there, girl. You said what? I can just imagine the cattiness and the drama that you see and have to deal with every day and write about it. Girl, I'm praying for you, Diva. Lord, I can just imagine. And you in L.A.? I just came from New York. I can just imagine you over in L.A.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That's like being in Atlanta. Oh.
It's a lot of it. I used to live in Atlanta, too, so.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, there is a lot of it, and I just choose to stay away from it. Like, once you even start, like, putting that out there, I remove myself from the situation because it's that simple. I don't, I choose where I am and who I'm around and who, I want to spend my time with. So if you're a hater and you're putting that out there, I just choose to remove myself and I just don't deal with you. I don't have the time. I don't have time to go back and forth with anyone and argue. I'm too busy for all that. So
have you ever been in a situation or had a situation where you was like, you know what, this is going to hurt my business. This is going to hurt my name.
Oh,
have you ever had to drop a close friend because of this?
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. I mean, even before all of the Hollywood and L.A. and before my career took off the way that it did, I had to leave a few friends behind. I've had to drop clients, yeah, definitely. And that's, sometimes it's a hard decision, sometimes it's not. I have to do what's best for me and what's best for my business at this point. I've worked way too hard to get to where I am and where I'm trying to be, to allow anything and anyone to interrupt that and destroy what I've built. So, so be it. If you're not here for me, you're against me. That's how I look at it,
I love that. If you're not here for me, you're against me. One more question. Let's talk Twitter. What has Twitter done for your network?
Oh my God, girl. Twitter is like it's a blessing and a curse, though. Let me just say that Twitter is great for our PR. I mean, any social media where you can get the word out instantly to millions of people is such a great thing for publicists everywhere. Like, we wouldn't trade social media for the world. But on the other hand, there's crazy people on Twitter with nothing else to do but to start a mess and say negative things. And I just had a client whose movie premiered on BET, and there was so much backlash against him directly. Yeah, and he's an actor. Like, that's not him in real life, but he's an actor. And so, he got so much craziness. I mean, he got a lot of positive things too, which was great, but people were like coming at him because they didn't agree with the message in the movie and they just didn't agree with the movie itself and how it represented. It was crazy. So Twitter, I think that it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. I just think that you have a lot of people that really honestly have nothing else to do but sit around, get on Twitter, troll the internet, and just like start up mess because they're hiding behind that computer. These are never things that they would say or do in person in your face. So I don't know. I just think we can't take it too seriously. It's Twitter, It is what it is. I don't know these people personally. So, you're
Right.
always going to have haters, and you just have to, just roll with it. And laugh at things. Like, I laugh at so much stuff now. It's ridiculous. Like, you just have to let things go. You can't take this stuff personally. These people aren't paying your bills. These people aren't doing anything. Like,
pay
they're
my
not
car
doing
bill.
anything. Thank you. Like, so
Right.
it is what it is. I definitely, like I said, I appreciate social media for what it does for my business and my clients, but you're always going to get the bad with the good.
Right.
Always.
Hold on, we have a caller calling in from the 210. 210, you are on Ladies Night Radio with Denaja, Diva Ebony B, and I almost said your government name. And this is Mikeya Summerville, in fact, agency. Who is this?
Hi, this is Jasmine. I'm calling to say I'm happy to hear my friend on your show.
Jasmine!
Hi, Tia.
That's what's up. It's all about support. I love it.
No, this girl supports me, like, to know, and we've been friends since, like, 3rd grade. I love her to death.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, to have
you
a friend for them.
Have an excellent show.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for calling in. Did you have any questions? Did you want to say anything about Maya Angelou who just passed?
It's really sad. I remember being in Portugal a couple of years ago, and we did a Black History event, and 4 women that I know really well recited her Phenomenal Woman poem, and it was absolutely amazing. So that will always be my memory of her.
Wow. Yeah, Phenomenal Woman is, whew. Yeah.
I know. That's so powerful. I remember having to do that whole poem on stage by myself. I can't remember if it was elementary school or high school, but I remember having to, like, do it and just practicing to memorize it and learn it. And, I put a little acting skills in there and to really just, like, make her message come through. And that's such, like, a powerful poem. And I think that, that can be revised right now, and people really need to read that, like women, just from what we were talking about.
Right.
That
about,
right there.
Uneducated young girls. But
Right.
I was just calling, so I stayed woke to listen.
Oh.
But I'm proud of you all, and ladies, your show is wonderful, so keep up the good work.
Oh, very, very much. We truly appreciate that. Please don't feel free to call back in. Absolutely.
Thank
Okay,
you.
have a good night.
Good night.
You too, Mama.
Bye.
Take care. Bye. Yeah, it's crazy, and I guess if you think about the impact that women have in general, and women don't understand how much power they have. I think that's the biggest thing.
I say it all the time. Nope, I say it all the time. We do not understand and realize our power and use it for good enough.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
Definitely, because we will definitely talk about each other's shoes, talk about each other's whatever, and, and as opposed to just actually being like, oh, that's nice, they'll be like, oh, that's cute. Except, like, why you gotta hate for? Why you gotta get mad? Really? Is it that serious? How you getting mad for it? Like, for real now? Are you actually getting ticked off? Really? It's like, I think we need more people to be positive. We need more women to understand that, like, if we could get together and really work this out, we could rule the world for real. Like, come on now.
Seriously, hello.
You know what I'm saying? Because, like, so we get things done. We know how to build things. We know how to build businesses. We know how to communicate. So why can't we work together? And we're so constant about working against each other. You know what I mean? And it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, we do need more of that. Like, one of my business partners, is a female. We went to college together, and we were perfectly fine with each other. Like, you two ladies seem like you get along fine. You have this radio show. You're giving a platform for women like me, to talk about what I do, and we just need more of that. We really do.
Yes. we absolutely need more of that, and I think that that's the biggest thing about this whole industry is about supporting each other. And the industry are built around relationships. How can we not support each other?
Right.
Speaking of supporting each other, we got Boston, Mr. iamBranded in the building. Hello, you are here on Ladies Night Radio. What's going on?
My queens, what's happening?
How are you?
I'm good. I just wanted to shout out you girls and you ladies out there listening. Love your show, of course, and I'm just waiting on women to rule the world too, because I'm okay with that. I'm completely cool with it. I mean, males have tried to dominate this universe for too long, and it's time for the ladies to step forward and do what they do. So I'm just waiting.
Absolutely.
I think it's important for y'all to take over, because we're not doing such a great job. So can y'all do it? Like, I'll take that any day. But also, can I say something real quick? Because I just really, it's for the ladies, so I just really wanted to just kind of make a point. And I know everybody's talking about the passing of Maya Angelou, and my thoughts, prayers, not just are with her family and friends, but also the people that have admired her for so long. I just want to say, for the ladies out there that's listening, I just wish, and I really wish and hope that half the ladies out there, and I put it on Facebook, half the ladies out there would have gotten it while she was still alive, as far as what she meant so much for communities, not just for even males, even men. But since it's ladies' night, let's talk about the ladies too. But I just really wish a lot of ladies would have paid attention to her passion that she really had for trying to help embrace the culture of women and how strong women were supposed to be, because I'm seeing a lot of people doing the RIPs and all that stuff, and that's nice, but at the same time, I just really hope that y'all got what she was really trying to put forth, because if y'all just doing it because the next person does it or say it, then it's really not going to stand for nothing. I think what needs to happen is for the ladies and for the men to pay attention to the ladies, for everybody to really just kind of just embrace what she had going on and just try to be able to make it work, because right now it's not working, and I just really don't like other people just wanting to do it just because it's a trend thing. Like, it's trending, so let me go ahead and jump in. You know what I'm saying? Do it because you feel it in your heart that she really stood for something. Her books meant something. Her speeches meant something. I just really hope that a lot of women out there can really embrace it. And the men out there, I hope y'all pay attention to those strong ladies that do have the passion like Maya Angelou did, or Denia, or Diva Ebony B, and all the ladies out there that really is trying to make something happen. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. And because we were talking about that earlier, that it's like it's cool to say the RIPs, but like if you have no idea who she really was, like Diva was saying that she talked to a barber, and he didn't know who she was. I was like, gotta be kidding me.
There's a lot of people out there, women, men, boys, girls, who really don't know what she stood for, and that's sad, because we have enough. There's enough stuff out there. There's enough books out there. There's a lot of social media history out there. There's a lot of stuff for people to really just embrace and read and pay attention to, and just check out her history. You know what I'm saying? It's easy for us to get it. You pick up on everything else. You pick up on who's on the next Love and Hip Hop, but you can't find out nothing about Maya Angelou? Are you serious?
I swear.
Just saying.
I think our priorities are all screwed up, and I think that's the biggest thing about it. Our priorities are so incredibly screwed up. I was talking about earlier that, like, the biggest problem that I have with, like, the news is that the news has become entertainment news. They shouldn't be covering nothing about, entertainment. That's not news. That's not,
Well, the media,
Right.
ladies, is propaganda anyways. I mean, it's
True.
kind of like what you take from, it's kind of like you take what you need to take from it and form your own opinion. But the problem is there's too many people that will embrace everything because they feel like it's gospel without even trying to figure out, okay, is this fact? If it's not fact, then let me go ahead and do some own personal research to find out what it is. Just to, you want to confirm stuff. You don't want anything. I can see anything on TV or I can hear anything, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and find out if it's really real. And if it is, then you know what? Hey, tip my cap off to this news. You know what I'm saying? If it's not, then you know what? I knew it was full of it anyway. So people tend to take the media as their Bible, and I think people need to form their own opinion, man, woman, and child.
Yeah.
Good point.
Right. Yeah. And I think another thing is too is that like not only are we taking media as their Bible, is people aren't doing any kind of research, and so like and that's how things get started. I think that's where problems arise. Like how many celebrities have we killed on Twitter? And I mean, and it goes viral. And it's like,
it does.
Who guys? Wait, huh? What the?
I mean, the tabloids too, like all the tabloids, all the stuff that you see on, the U.S. Weekly or, all the stuff that used to be good journalism turned into a whole lot of other different things. And before I let y'all go to finish off the rest, I'm just listening in to y'all show. I just want to shout out all the women journalists out there that really just go by the book and just really do a lot of good work. There's a lot of women journalists out there that don't get the credit they deserve. And, I'm not just talking about sports journalists. I'm talking about, real hardcore media journalists out there. There's a lot of women on CNN. There's a lot of women out there just all over the globe doing a lot of good work to try to put out good news, and they should be commended as well. But y'all ladies have a good rest of the show. I'm still listening, so just keep doing y'all ladies' thing. I'm proud of y'all.
Thank you. Love you, boss man. Yeah, I mean, I think that and that's the problem. Like, it's been crazy because people allow it to go nuts.
Yeah.
People allow themselves to get involved in all of this craziness and get wrapped up in it. I mean, I think if we had more people that were promoting positivity, more people that were promoting how to build a business instead of how to look for a job, then we would be better off. So, you already know. Because I remember specifically when I met you that you were doing event planning, I believe, because I met you at Sarah Vargas Diva event. And and it was funny that you said that the Snoop Dogg event was your very first event, because that was my first time having my pieces worn by somebody at a celebrity event. So thank you for that.
Right.
You're welcome. You before, because that was dope. I'm like, people are like, you met Snoop Dogg? I'm like, yeah, this girl Mikeya Summerville is awesome. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
So
see, it's about supporting. You told me about your jewelry line. I'm like, yeah, let's get it out there. Let's whatever we can do. I just do feel that we need more of that. If it's a good product and it's something positive and you're a good person, why not help? Why not do what you can? It's not going to do anything to me to help someone if I'm in a position to. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I don't know why we don't have more of that. What would it do to me for not helping someone if I can? If I'm in the position to, I always will help people, period.
Right. I mean, but what I honestly think it is it's more of a I think it's almost more of a greed factor, because what happens is that people, they want you to do well, but they don't want you to do better than them.
Absolutely.
And that's what the problem is.
Yep.
You can be doing good, but you can't be doing better. You can have a nice car, but it can't be better than theirs. If you're not on that same level, there's an issue for some strange reason. And I've never understood that. And, and that's why we have issues in Chicago. I love my city, but, we can't get that together.
I know.
We're too busy trying to one-up each other, which I'm sure is why you left, part of the reason. Because there are so many things that are going on, and people will throw events at the exact same time. And I'm like, really? Did none of y'all talk at all? We all decided to throw the same breath. Do you know we only have a small, limited amount of people that actually go to stuff, right? So you're sitting up there, and everybody's like, I can't go to your event because they have their event the same day. I'm like, really? And when you do that, you're cutting each other's throats as opposed to just having that conversation and saying, okay, well, you're doing the event this day. All right, well, I'm going to come out to that, and then you come out to mine on this day. That's how you do it. That's how you really network. That's how you build a relationship. You know what I mean? But instead, you want to be like, well, let me see who can come out to mine, and I'm going to make sure that they don't go to yours.
To yours, yeah.
Right. We have to start building bridges because we've already burned a ton of them. So we need to start building them now. And it's not hard to build bridges, but it's just a matter of knowing what you need to do and actually following through with it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So for what you do, what is the next step for your PR firm? Like, where do you see your PR firm in the next 5 years?
Oh my, definitely having a staff. Having a staff where it's pretty much running itself. I always have the company. I love what I do, so I'll always be a part of it to some extent, but I do want a staff to where it can run itself.
Right.
And I'm just more involved on like the bigger things and the day-to-day things with my clients. I do want to expand into a bigger media company, possibly producing or directing. I don't know why I have like this newfound love for like movies and how they're made and how they work and TV. So like that's like my newest interest right now.
Oh,
so
really?
I see some directing and some producing later down the line. We'll see how that goes, but yeah, I do have that interest all of a sudden. I don't know where it came from, but and maybe some lifestyle things. I've always been into like decorating, interior decorating, and things like that. Fashion is definitely a big thing for me, but more like an accessories line or something like that. Nothing like too crazy, but I want to dibble and dab in a lot of stuff.
That's what's up. And I think that's what's up. I think a lot of people have this misconception of like, if I have this one job, then I'm just going to retire here. And I'm like, yeah, that's over.
No.
I need y'all to understand that you need to do more than just one thing.
Because, it's about the hustle. Like, you got to don't put all your eggs in one basket. Like, it definitely bounce around, until you've mastered one thing, but because you do have a lot of people that just bounce around to different things and, conquer something and then branch out. So.
Absolutely. And I think even beyond that, because like with me, like I said, I design jewelry, but I've only designed jewelry for 5 years. So, but previous to that, I was doing a lot of community activism work, and I was on the board for 4 years where I'm doing speeches and all that other kind of stuff. And then, and then I've always worked with kids, period. So what I did was after I worked with City Year, I took that and I worked at the Boys and Girls Club for 3 years, teaching jewelry making classes. You know what I'm saying? Like after I worked with City Year, that's when I decided that I was like, I'm going to work for myself because I don't even want to think about what my paycheck is because I already know that I was at this job for these kids because it wasn't for the paycheck. I promise you.
Right.
Because that's a stipend. And so people don't understand it's like a volunteer gig because you're not getting paid a lot. But the rewards of seeing your kids do so well was so worth it. I took kids that were at a kindergarten grade level and brought them up to the grade they're supposed to be at and above.
Oh, wow.
Within like 8-month period. And it was funny because when I got my kids, they're like, we don't expect you to get them up. We don't expect you to actually put them this high. Not only did they reach their level, they went above. And they're like, whoa, how did you do that? I work with the kids. I was working with kids one-on-one. You know what I'm saying? And people don't understand how important it is to work with youth.
Uh-huh.
and what that does to these kids and how they're able to grow. And when you tell them that, yes, even though you're in the situation, you can do better. Even though you're in the situation, you can grow. You don't have to worry about just conforming. And I think that's the biggest problem that we have as a country, especially as women, as we conform. We don't want to be outside the box too much. We want to say that we're outside the box.
Well, I say it all
not.
the time, yeah. Fear is, oh my God, fear is just like the killer of so much stuff, dreams and aspirations. It takes a lot to be brave and to really just go for what you want, but fear creeps in, and so many people just stay where they are and in that comfort zone, and you'll just never realize your potential and everything that you can offer the world unless you just step outside of that and just take a risk. And that's just what I did. Like, I left Chicago, I moved, and you just have to, like, take a leap of faith and just, put in the work, of course, but
right.
You just have to know and really, truly believe that it'll work out, and it really will.
Oh, it did. It was crazy because I remember I hit you up about coming to the event in Chicago, and you're like, I'm in Cali. I was like, when did you move? Wait a second. How did this?
And you have to be willing to sacrifice, and I think that's another thing. A lot of people don't want to put in the work and sacrifice. Like, the people want, like, it easy and to be handed to them. That's not going to happen. That rarely happens. It rarely happens. Like, that's just not reality. You're going to suffer. You're going to have some hard times. You're going to be broke. You're going to, you're going to work 50 jobs at one time. You just have to be willing to do that in order to have, freedom. And that's what I want.
Yeah, and because people think that, like, some people will be like, oh, how did you get into the science story? I'm like, I was raised around it. I was raised around things or whatever, and so I got into it. But, like, but if you get into it just to make money, you're going to be mad because it's not about that. You want to make a quality product.
It can't be about the money will come. The money will come.
Exactly. But that can't be your only goal because you're going to get frustrated. You're not going to want to do it anymore. I do it because I love beads. I love beads, and I love the way that my clients give me this amazing look when they get their pieces, especially when they get custom pieces done. I love being able to see their faces and see the joy that what the work that I put in brings. I love the fact of being able to teach my kids and see them progress and have people say, what do you mean a child made that? It was, that they killed, like one of my girls, she was 11 now, but she was with me since she was 7, so her skills are so tight now that she's killing grown women that are doing this because she put in that work to be able to make those pieces and make them stand out. Anytime you have kids that did pieces 2 years ago and they're coming to you still saying them, they have them, you've done something right.
Right.
And that's what it's about. It's about having that quality work. But a lot of people just kind of want to put something out there and, I'm going to just go ahead and make a little money real quick. That's what it's not about. People are asking, like, how do you, that's what I want to ask you, about branding. What do you tell your clients is the most important thing about branding themselves, especially on social media?
To stay consistent. That's my biggest thing is just staying consistent. Be true to your brand, but be the same. You can't switch it up. Like, don't be over here saying, one thing and then, next week you're saying something totally different on Twitter. That's how you get caught up. That's how you're not credible. That's how you lose fans and, people just don't follow you. So I just feel that consistency is key and just constantly, like, work on your craft. You're always be a student. That's how I look at things. We don't know everything. So always be willing to improve your brand. Don't think that, like, it's just sad and you can't improve on anything. And anytime that there's no room for improvement, I just feel like you're stagnant. And, that's how you get old real quick. People just lose interest. Seriously, like, people lose interest. And, like, in this industry, being relevant is everything. And to be relevant, you have to, like, always give people something new and fresh, but definitely staying consistent with that brand because that's what people are going to follow throughout your career. So that would be my biggest advice. And my clients will tell you, I am always, I am a stickler for preserving the brand. Like, I am big on that, because once you tarnish that, you don't have anything in this industry.
Right. How hard is it to change your image? Have you had clients that say, you know what, I decided that today I don't want to be a pop star anymore. I want to be a rock and roll da 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 da. And you know what I'm saying? Like, or I want to do country music. I don't want to be a rapper today. Wait, what? Have you had that kind of an issue as of yet?
Nothing extreme, but there has been those conversations where, a client may be known for one thing and, they want to jump into something else. And my thing is I'm not going to shoot you down for what you want to do. It's just having that conversation of, well, let's master this first.
Right.
This is what you're known for. Let's, really, really master this. Let you get known for what you originally put out, and then we can transition into something else. So it's really just taking the time and being patient. Patience in what I do is necessary.
Right. And I think you said something very critical. You said transition as opposed to just cut off what you're doing. So
exactly.
Transitioning when you're connecting your bridges that you built without burning them. Because if you go from that kind of transition from you want to do rap and then all of a sudden you want to do country, then you are losing fans but gaining fans. But if you do it properly, then you are able to then you are able to create that transition where you have new fans along with your old fans.
Yeah, if you're just change all of a sudden, no one can really take you seriously. It's you look like you don't know what you're doing, or you don't know what you want to do. So it's if you don't know what you want to do, why am I following you? Why am I paying attention to you if you haven't figured this out yet? So that's the last thing you want to do.
So do you still do event planning, or you're just focusing specifically on the PR at this point?
Just focusing on PR at this point. I mean, clients will have events, so, I'll manage and plan those events just for clients, but not really outside of that. I will be joining forces with another publicist on a gifting suite for the ESPYs in July, so that'll be my first event in LA outside of, a client event, so that'll be really cool. I'm looking forward to that. I love events, though.
What advice could you give to someone that says they want to be a publicist?
Oh, my. Oh, God. I get this question. I get it all the time, though. I'll get, college students, or I actually spoke at the University of Iowa a few years ago, and I was just doing nothing but giving them advice. You just have to really make sure that this is really something you want to do. You have to. This is not for the faint-hearted at all.
No.
So no. So you have to really understand and realize that this is what you want to do. You have a true passion for it. You enjoy doing this, because it will not work if you don't like it at all. And then just having an understanding of the industry that you're doing PR in, and really narrowing it down to an industry, because there's all types of PR. There's corporate PR, there's entertainment PR, it's even just music PR and entertainment, like movies and TV. Narrowing it down helps, because then you'll just be all over the place and inconsistent, and you'll drive yourself crazy because you're just, you're in too many different markets. And I did that, actually. I was doing fashion, beauty, lifestyle. It was too much.
Right, you were doing everything. I was
I did. It was too much. So I narrowed it down to just entertainment. So that is, fashion's in there. I have some fashion guys, but they're mainly entertainment. They're style ambassadors is the title that we gave them, but they're just incorporating fashion into everything else that they do. So, but yeah, it's just narrowing it down. And then doing your research on what PR is, because a lot of people think that they want to be a publicist or call themselves a publicist, and they have no idea what a publicist does.
It's like, what do they do?
Yeah, it's so frustrating.
No, it's a little bit more than that.
Just posting to social media does not make you a publicist. I just want to put that out there.
No. Thank you. What? Hello? What? Oh, yes.
Yeah,
because people just be like,
so
I'm like, what do you do? Okay. So are you booking events? Are you,
yeah,
are you talking
promoters,
to media for your clients? No. Okay, then you're not a publicist.
Promoters are not publicists. Party promoters, yes, we need them, great, but they are not publicists. So I just want, there's just a respect there. There's a skill in what we do. There's time and dedication and a lot of research, and you have to know how to write. You have to know how to communicate. There's so much that goes into it that people don't realize and understand. So, just embracing all of those things, having a knowledge of all of those things is the advice that I would give. For sure.
So for artists, I think, when do you know that you have gotten to the point where you need to hire a publicist?
I think that you have to have enough content out there, because I've had this problem in the past too, where I'll take on a client way too soon before they need me.
Right.
Where you don't really need a publicist, and then it just becomes a waste of time and money for both of us.
Right.
So it's really just putting in the work long enough to where you can no longer do it yourself. That's how I look at it. If you can still manage your own career and, kind of do your own PR, you don't really need a publicist yet. It needs to be to the point where you have so much going on where you are ready to put that in the hands of someone else. So just doing it too soon, like if you're just getting into your field, you don't need a publicist yet. You need to get your feet wet. You need to really get out there, explore your craft, hone in on your craft, and then hire a publicist. In entertainment, you need an agent first anyway. That's the first person that you need to hire, because that's who's getting you work. If you don't have work, you don't need a publicist. What am I promoting?
Right. You say hire the agent before the publicist.
Absolutely. Yeah, the agent is who gets you work. Like, if you don't have work coming in, then it's like, what am I doing? If you don't have that project for me to put out there, it's useless, really. And we get paid differently. An agent is going to work for you because they get a percentage of any work that they get for you. I get paid regardless. So whether you're working,
you're like, I'm getting paid regardless. So
whether you're working or not, but if you don't have a project going on, I still get paid every month. So it's still different.
So I mean, that being said, when you said like you want to hire an agent before you have a publicist, how are these people that don't have talent, not naming any names, able to get famous off of just getting pictures taken? Well, screw it, I'll name names. Paris Hilton, she didn't do nothing, but she went to parties. And she got
Paris
famous
Hilton
off of that.
Paris Hilton was rich, and she came from a famous name already. And she was a socialite. She had the means to be in certain places at certain times, and that name behind who she is, that's kind of what did it for her. And you have publicists out there that can, definitely take someone without talent and just trying to create them. I'm not in that business, but you have a lot of people that, they don't mind doing that. I work with true talent. I look for true talent. If you approach me and I feel that you don't have a brand or enough where I can do anything with it, I honestly politely decline.
That's
like I just don't think that it's worth your time. It's unfair to you and it's unfair to me in the end. So, true talent, be passionate about what you're doing, and I have to see something where I can believe in what you're doing. I don't work with anyone if I don't believe in what they do, in their talent. I can't, that's a lie. I can't be out there promoting something that I don't fully believe in. So, yeah.
Wow. I mean, and I think, and I thank you for that, because we need more people like that that are going to promote people with talent that can actually, so they can be known. Because the right people need to get noticed. Because that's what I see is the problem. The right people are not getting noticed. I'm like sitting here like, why are you famous? Damn it. What do you do?
Well, a lot of people take on a client just for a quick buck. They may have the money but not the talent. And so you'll have some people that'll jump on that because they just want the money. And, they don't really care about the talent. But to me, as a publicist, it's your brand and it's your name that's on the line, too. I'm not going to sacrifice my name and my brand and what I've built just to make a buck. That makes no sense. So, I'm not destroying my name to make some money. No.
Right. That's it, because it's all about your branding. It Factor Agency is about branding. That's all.
Right. You have to practice what you preach. I can't be out there telling people I'm working with people that have an it factor when they're whack. That doesn't work.
It's like, well, that's not no it factor. That's a,
Yeah, no, that doesn't
that's
work.
That's a non-factor, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's what needs to be out there, is the fact that if you have talent, then cultivate that. And like she said, don't just hire a publicist because you got 10,000 followers and this and that. No, you need to make sure. If you got 10,000 people coming to your shows, that's a totally different situation. 10,000 followers and 10,000 people that pay to come to see you perform are two totally different things. And so I think a lot of people have gotten kind of caught up with the whole, I got this many followers on Twitter and this many followers on YouTube and this and that, and they're focused on that. And these numbers will trick y'all. Let me in case y'all didn't know, people can buy the numbers, by the way.
You can buy numbers. And then even just a follow for a follow doesn't mean anything. Twitter actually was designed and is meant to have a conversation. Like if you're not communicating with your fans and they're not engaging with you and there's no dialogue, there's really no point, honestly. Because you just have people for numbers and, it may look good, but it really does nothing for your brand and nothing for what you're trying to do. So
Right, and for those people that are paying for followers and paying for YouTube views, it's not a good look, and I'm going to tell you why. Because when labels are looking at you and they see 100,000 views and 5 comments, they know you bought. I'm just saying, there's got to be something. Like, people don't understand. They'd be like, oh, yeah, I just bought 10,000 followers for $5. That's not what you want to do. I don't care how much you paid for it. The fact is that you paid for it. You made the conscious decision to pay for followers just so it would make you look better. But all it's going to do is make you look bad because you couldn't get them organically. You know what I'm saying? And so when somebody actually gets them organically, now they're getting questioned because they busted their butt.
Right. Now it's time to show and prove. It's like, okay, you have real fans and real followers that are going to actually participate in dialogue and ask you questions, and you're not even prepared to handle all of that. So that's not a good look.
Hold on, I got a call from 347. You are on Ladies Night Radio with Denaya Joy and Miss Mikeya Summerville, It Factor Agency. Who is that?
Hey, Miss Host. Hey, Miss Diva.
Hello.
Hi.
What's good? This is Noel, a.k.a. Tasty. What's up? What's up, baby? How you doing, Miss Dynamic Host?
I'm good. Who am I speaking with?
This is Noel, a.k.a. Tasty.
Oh, how are you?
How are you doing, dear?
I'm good. Do you have any questions for our lovely guest?
Yes, this Diva Ebony.
Diva Ebony B had to jump off for a little bit, but
hello.
She might be back on. Yeah, Diva Ebony B was on earlier. She had to jump off for a little bit to take care of something. So
yeah, jump off.
Just missed it. But Ms. Mikeya Summerville, owner of It Factor Agency, who is which is a fabulous PR firm, is on. So did you have any questions for her?
Oh, you mean Miss Lisa Green, the guest?
Miss Lisa Green has jumped off earlier. You guys caught it. We're super late. She was on till about 10:30. So.
Oh, so Miss Diva Ebony was off too.
Yes, she just got off like 10 minutes ago.
Oh.
Yes.
So what's happening on the radio show now?
So we have Ms. Mikeya Summerville, who is the owner of It Factor Agency, and she is talking about how people can thrive as a respectable woman in this entertainment industry. So do you have any questions or comments about that?
As far as about the entertainment industry?
Yeah, and how to thrive as a respectable, or how you view women in the entertainment industry.
Well, basically what I could say from experience, because I've done, a lot of diverse shows, I sing with groups and everything, and, because I'm from Brooklyn, New York, and, I've done, with the Apollo and stuff like that, and, I got a lot of connections in the business as far as that is concerned, but one of the main things that I can say to you is that, you must have to be, determined if you want to be successful in the music industry. You got to be, determined, you got to, remain focused, and you got to be willing, to, keep your head up on top of the game, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Right.
It's, nothing's never easy, but, there's always a price in everything that you do, and, in order to get ahead, you got to, always press toward the mark. You got to, be willing. You got to have that yes I can attitude. You can't let anything or anyone, cease you or stop you from doing what you're called to do or what you can do.
Absolutely.
If your vision is that you want to be a songwriter like I am, or, be a singer of that nature, or to do management or anything of the sort, you got to, be creative and be determined. That's what I can say.
Good point.
Absolutely. Definitely. We also got somebody from 757 that wants to join the conversation. Hello, you are on with Mr. Niger and Ms. Mikeya Summerville of It Factor Agency. Who is this?
Yeah,
hello.
This is Will, WSL. This is Will Sexy Love. How you doing?
Oh, my God. Hey, how are you? Thank you for calling to Ladies Night.
Hi.
Thank you for listening to the #1 radio station for the people.
Nexxlegacy Radio.